What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review. This time we're taking a look at The Big Lebowski, written and directed by the Coen Brothers, starring Jeff Bridges and John Goodman. The Big Lebowski tells the story of the dude whose rug is mistakenly sabotaged, and now he has to go on a quest because of a slight case of mistaken identity. Since his real name is Jeff Lebowski, the people who attacked him thought he was a Jeff Lebowski whose trophy wife owed money to the wrong people. However, that Jeff Lebowski is known as the Big Lebowski, who is not this Lebowski. And yeah, this movie is so convoluted with its plot; it's so hard to keep track of. So I've officially seen the Big Lebowski now twice in my lifetime, and I can honestly say that as a comedy, I think the Big Lebowski is really funny. I give a lot of credit to Jeff Bridges and John Goodman, who really hold this movie together, because I feel that without Bridges and Goodman, this movie would be kind of just dull. I'm not even gonna lie. Sorry. If this movie did not have the talents of the Coen Brothers and Bridges and Goodman, the Big Lebowski would have been a really bad movie. This movie has an overly complex plot that gets started over a rug. Started over a rug. Only the Coen Brothers can make something so stupid be so interesting. But this movie is not really about its story because, to tell you the truth, the story of this movie is just retarded and it's really hard to keep track of because it throws so many things at you and you're just scratching your head. What does any of this have to do with a rug? This movie is really held together by the talents of the Coen Brothers' direction, by the cinematography of Roger Deakins, but also by the Coen Brothers' writing. But it's mostly held together by two outstanding performances by Jeff Bridges and John Goodman. Jeff Bridges as the dude is utterly awesome. Jeff Bridges was born to play the dude. This 50-year-old, like this middle-aged slacker who goes through life without drama and is so lackadaisical about everything. Jeff Bridges plays this character to the full tilt, and you can tell that Bridges is having a blast playing the dude. He gives the dude his classic mannerisms, his personality. The chemistry that Bridges and Goodman have on screen is utterly fantastic. They work so well off one another. And this movie came out in 1998, so by this point, Bridges and Goodman are like seasoned actors. So they're all pros. So when you watch this movie, you know that when you see them on screen, they're going to be good. But they're really good in this movie. You know, John Goodman, who plays Walter, who's like the dude's best friend. Walter is like this extremist, and he's totally hilarious. And Goodman is just having a blast playing this character. To me, you know, Walter's best scene is the infamous Larry scene where they're interrogating this kid Larry, and this kid Larry keeps stonewalling him. So Walter gets a baseball bat and he starts beating the hell out of a red car. And he's like, "You see what happens, Larry, when you fuck a stranger in the ass?" Funny shit. And then you get the dude who goes through a series of events. You know, he's put on a quest to find this man's trophy wife, and this other guy is known as Jeff Lebowski. So they nicknamed him the Big Lebowski as a way to differentiate, the dude from the other Lebowski. The dude has to pretty much find the wife, which he does not, and he has the help of Walter and their friend Donnie, played by Steve Buscemi. I actually thought Steve Buscemi was okay in this movie. He was decent. I mean, every time Buscemi's character tries to talk, all you hear is "Shut the fuck up, Donnie." But and then he just randomly dies at the end, which I didn't understand. I don't know why they killed off Donnie. That doesn't make no sense. And it just happens out of left field. He just has a heart attack after Walter takes down a bunch of nihilists in a very funny climactic scene. Uh, but when the three of them are on screen together, there's some good chemistry between the two. You know, I buy them as being very close friends and bowling buddies. Like these guys are like obsessed with bowling. Hell, the opening credits, the Coen brothers make bowling look like the most extravagant thing when you watch the opening credits of this movie. It's utterly fantastic how they made bowling look so elegant and so beautiful, like you're watching a play. It's ridiculous. It's so outlandishly stupid, but it's so entertainingly stupid. And that's what The Big Lebowski is. At the end of the day, The Big Lebowski, it's a stupid movie, but it's backed by strong performances and really good, clever writing by the way, and good writing by the Wachowski brothers. And you also have very good supporting actors. Aside from Bridges and Goodman, you have Julianne Moore, who plays his character of Maud, who is related to The Big Lebowski. That's his daughter. she wants to have a child, and she wants to use the dude as pretty much her way to get a child. Uh, you have John Turturro, who plays the character of Jose Quintana, and Quintana has probably one of the most memorable scenes where he's like, "Don't you fuck with the Jesus." Turturro, in the limited screen time that Turturro has in this movie, he absorbs the character of Quintana. He is so absorbed in this role. You can tell that when he's on screen, Totoro is having some fun playing the Jesus character. It's really a marvel to see. Philip Seymour Hoffman's in this movie. He plays the right hand man, I guess, to the Big Lebowski. He's fine in the role. Tara Reid plays the trophy wife. She's just like a dumb blonde. She's fine too. You got a cameo by David Telwis, who's like a friend of Maud. He's okay. And, like, this movie is like backed by a lot of supporting actors, including Sam Elliott, who does the narration and also makes an appearance as the stranger who has some scenes with the dudes here and there. So that's pretty fun too. From a visual standpoint, this movie is well done. The cinematography of this movie looks great, especially these trippy dream sequences that the dude sometimes has. They're so far out and so outlandish, but they're hilarious. Like, he has a dream where he and Maud are making a porno, and they're bowling while doing it. It's ridiculous. It's really trippy, funny, stupid stuff. Oh man. So yeah, those are just my thoughts on the Big Lebowski. This is not my favorite Coen Brothers movie by any stretch of the imagination, but I do like it, and it is very entertaining, which is why I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I think the Big Lebowski does deserve all the accolades it does get, though I do think that maybe some of those accolades are a little too overblown. Like, this is not the funniest movie I've ever seen, and I do not even come close to considering this one of the best Coen Brothers movies ever made. To be honest with you, I think movies like A Serious Man, True Grit, and No Country for Old Men are much better than Big Lebowski. Though I do think Big Lebowski is much better than Hail Caesar, though I do like Hail Caesar. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for the Big Lebowski. There's a lot more to talk about, but I'm just going to stop it right here. Let me know your thoughts in the comment sections down below. Like this video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.